Welcome back to Flint Creek Transport. My name is Justin. This video today is going to be some clarification. I've been getting, a lot of comments, questions about things, and sometimes I don't always do the best in explaining the videos, what exactly or why we do what we do. But this video, hopefully I can clarify some of the questions that I get. I get the question a lot is, what is your role in the company? What are you to the company? And my role here in the company is, this is a family business and I'm a partner. We're equal partners. It's my dad, my brother, a brother-in-law, and myself. There's three of us are in the process of purchasing my father out, buying his share of the company. But that's my role. And my day-to-day role here is I can maybe call myself a bit of a floater. I tend to get in a lot of different departments. I work on the Sensenig side. I work on the trucking side, obviously. I like to get involved in day-to-day operations and work under the people that we have set up, just so I get a feeling of the company, and so I get a heartbeat, so I know what's going on and some of their frustrations, some of the things that they face. It helps me make better business decisions. And I will say too, I could never do this all myself. Our company has a great team of people that work for us. They do an excellent job, and we all need each other, from the truck driver to the mechanic, dispatcher, it's teamwork. We all need each other. Same way on our stone side, the salesmen, the purchasers, whatever their role is, we're all needed. And those guys do an excellent job. And I was thinking about it this past week. I did quite a bit of traveling. And obviously this week I'm going to be doing a bit of traveling. And, the ability for me to be able to step back for 2 days or for 3 days or be gone, and to know that these guys are back here, head down, plugging away, working away, doing a great job, getting everything done is awesome. And so hopefully some of these guys are watching, and I tell you, they do a fantastic job. We by far are not a perfect company. We make mistakes. Sometimes we make the wrong decisions, but we try our best. And we have been very blessed as a company, and we give God the honor and glory for what he has given to us. We try our best to be good stewards as well as to what God has given us. So God's been very good to us. We give God the credit. It's not our feeble minds that come up with all these things sometimes, but it's God that blesses it. And that's been amazing to see God at work in the last 20 years of this company. It's just absolutely incredible, where we started from and where we are today. Someday when I get a chance, I want to get all the partners, including my father, and we can sit down and tell the story from years ago. I like everyone to hear my dad's part of the story, his version of it. It's very interesting. That's a little bit who I am, and I consider myself, as a coworker. I am, most days I'm here every day. I'm working alongside these guys. I'm at one of the locations. I might be out driving truck, but I'm working alongside them, and I consider myself a coworker. Another question that I get asked a lot is, what do you do primarily, or what do you haul primarily? And I will say, on the Sensenig side, go check out Sensenig's Landscape Supply, the YouTube channel. I'm just kind of getting that one going. Primarily what we do on the Flint Creek side is bulk. I say bulk by meaning walking floors, dump trailers, belt trailers. That's primarily what we do. We have the most walking floors. We have like 11 walking floors, 3 belt trailers, almost 4 belt trailers, 4 or 5 dump trailers. That's primarily what we do, is haul bulk products. For our Sensenig side, it's flatbeds. We have they have probably 8 flatbeds that we haul stone with. If you're not sure what a walking floor is, go back to my last video and rewatch it, or watch the last video. This is a walking floor trailer. And one of the questions is how do you load a walking floor trailer? And so I want to clarify that today. I want to make sure everyone knows what a walking floor is, because that's what got us to where we are today. It's all started with walking floors. I'm gonna go around, get climbed up here. A walking floor trailer most walking floor trailers have tarp tops. You look across the trailers, they all got a tarp on. whole way across. All got tarps on, and these are just a part of our trailers, not near all of our trailers. But this tarp opens up. Basically, I'll show you with this handle here. There's a long rod that goes along this tarp all the way to the end. I pop out this pin right here. And basically uncrank it, or crank it. See how that rolls across? So I have it about half open. You can see when these guys roll into, say, a sawmill, and we were gonna load mulch, or we're gonna load wood chips, or a bulk product, maybe it's feed, it could be corn, whatever it is. When they pull into place to get loaded, they have to open this tarp. They then pop these straps. These straps basically just hold the tarp up. So if we get rain, it keeps the tarp from going down in, then you can't roll the tarp right. But usually big payloaders, excavators, maybe it's an auger, is what loads these trailers. It comes over the side. They have big buckets. They'll dump right into the side into these walk-in floor trailers. So it doesn't matter what we're hauling, most of the product comes over the side. When they get done loading, they roll this tarp shut. Hopefully everything is all sealed. This tarp has some patches, you can see some patches, but these trailers are actually fairly watertight and they keep things dry. We've hauled feed, a lot of different things. We've had very little issue with things getting wet. I will say these trailers are really cool in the fact that we can haul pallets on these trailers. So we can back up to a dock, you know, get these doors open, back up to a dock, and bring forklifts right on top of the walking floor. And we can put wood pellets. We haul a lot of different products that are palletized in these walking floors. When we get to the place to unload, we simply walk the pallets to the back of the trailer, or they can back up to a dock, drive the forklift straight into the trailer, and unload them that way. So there's two different methods to unloading them. Obviously in time there's maintenance on those floors. There's really not a lot of maintenance. You can run these trailers for quite a few years and not have a lot of issues. Some of the other types of trailers is a belt trailer, which is right beside us. And when we get, I would say, guys, is stay tuned. When we get that new belt trailer, I'm going out next week to look at it. When that belt trailer comes in, before we haul any loads in it, I want to try to get complete video of that trailer, what it is and how it works. And then over here to my left, here is a dump trailer. And a dump trailer is basically like a dump truck. And by the way, all these trailers, they have tarps, they roll, they're side to side roll tarps. And a dump trailer is just going to lift up and dump out the back, versus, you know, opening the doors and, you know, getting pushed out. So it's going to get dumped out the back. Usually dump trailers are used for hauling grain and for, you know, feed commodities and things like that is what these dump trailers get hauled or get used for. Belt trailers are kind of unique in the fact that they can haul a lot of different things. They can haul mulch a lot easier than a dump trailer because they can get a lot more volume on a belt trailer. Belt trailers definitely have their place. They can haul feed, they can do a lot of different things, and I'll show you some of the things that we get on these belt trailers. And I'm gonna wait, so stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, because you will know how a belt trailer works. So just a quick update here on walk-in floors and why we have them and how they kind of got us to where we are. So these were obviously used when we first got them. They were used to haul mulch. That's what got us into the trucking business. We hauled mulch, and that's all we hauled. And after a while, people said, you know what, can you haul something else with your walk-in floor? Well, we can. And it just all went from there. Let's get this tarp shut. And you know, you can see it's a matter of basically 2 minutes. A guy can climb up, get his tarp open, or get his tarp shut. It's a very simple process. And they actually make automated tarp systems as well. So you can just hit a button, the tarp rolls open. If you hadn't seen that video of that topper or the Titan hopper bottom, that one is pretty cool. Another thing I wanted to clarify is our tires. There was some comments, you know, you guys are crazy for running recaps. Recaps are not worth it, and on and on. And I will say it makes so much difference in how you take care of your tires. Again, we've had very, very few issues with recaps. Rarely ever do we have a tire blowout. Very, very seldom. They have been fantastic for us. You know, there's no reason for us to not run recaps, but there's definitely some methods or some things that we do in order to have good casings. And we always make sure we get our own casings back. There's some things that we do to make sure that our caps don't blow, because if you're not taking care of them, they will blow. You will have issues. And in our fleet, we tend to, you know, every 5,000 miles, they're coming in, that truck's coming in, and they're checking tire pressure. And if you don't watch tire pressure, that's so important, you will have issues. For us, it's not that we maybe say don't have the money to run virgins. I just think it's kind of wasteful to not do something when it works totally fine for us. I'm not trying to change your mind on, I'm just saying, here's what works for us, and here's why we do what you do. So hopefully, maybe it helps you guys in figuring out, you know what, I can run caps, or you know what, caps aren't worth it for me. The other thing I want to show you, and this is going to have a little effect into my purchase that I plan on making here in this week. I'll show you. We're going to go out back, go on a little drive. You know, so over time you pick up maybe a used truck or two here and there. You get a good deal on a truck, so you decide to buy it. And that's basically what happened over the last several years. I'll show you. This truck is truck number 145. It's a T800. I think it's a 2000 model or 99 model. Actually, in New York here, it's all in the registration sticker. I can pop up and check. It's actually a 1998. This has the Cat T6TS motor in it, 13-speed transmission. This truck come out of Buffalo, New York. It was a very well-maintained truck, and I picked it up at auction for a very good price. It had a small bunk on it. We ripped the bunk off, and we're actually putting it on that blue one in the shop. It's already painted, sitting on. I bought this truck more for the motor than I did anything else. I mean, there's parts, obviously, some stuff we can take off it as well. We got this truck back. I bought an auction, just a gamble. I brought it back, and you know what? It was a great riding, running truck. And that thing shifts better than most of our trucks. It's amazing. The old truck, and it's still a solid truck. So we decided, you know what? We're going to put license on it. We do haul out of the quarry with it. And then we also, when we're unloading at the plant, at the bean plant for about 3-4 months out of the year, we use it down there as well. So for, I think it was around $10,000 to have a solid running truck. You know, you need some of those old workhorses around to be able to just be a spare truck. It doesn't get run near every day. And really what I bought this truck for was for the Cat motor, because I can put that motor into another truck. This truck back here. Why would you buy an International? But again, this truck has a Cat motor. I think this one was a 1997 International. Again, I think it was the 6TS Cat motor or else a 2WS, one or the other. But anyway, again, solid motor. I picked it up for a very good price. Actually, I can link in the video. You guys can see when I went to buy it, when I bought this truck, when I went to pick it up. And we've been using it a little bit just to pull trailers around the yard. But I bought that truck for the motor, and I got it, I want to say, between $6,000 and $8,000. Very reasonable. So I have that motor to work with. And then in here is another truck I bought for the motor. This is a Detroit. I actually bought these trucks quite a few years ago. I bought them for kind of 2 reasons. So this truck I bought at Ritchie Brothers auction. It was on a silent auction. And I actually bought 3 of these, and I bought them for 2 reasons. One reason being I did need a truck or two to be able to pull trailers around in the yard, to drop and hook the flatbed trailers, things like that. It was nice to have a truck. And the truck that we did have, we had gotten rid of. These trucks kind of served, you know, 2 purposes, you know, and then it has a 12.7 Detroit in there. When I bought these trucks, I was really intentionally only wanted 1 or 2, and I ended up with 3 because I put a bid in for 1 and I did not get it. Well, unbeknownst to me, the seller I was the high bidder, but the reserve was not met. The seller had the opportunity to say, hey, you know what, I'll sell it for the highest bid anyway. So I ended up getting 3 trucks that way. And I got them very cheap. I want to say they were between $5,000 and $7,000 or $5,000 and $8,000. So per piece, I got them very cheap. The one truck we already ripped the motor out of and put that in another truck that we have. And we did a little tweaking to the motor, and it's been a great running truck. We have it in there for maybe about a year and a half, and that's been a great running motor. The other two, we're still using the one as a yard truck, actually the two as a yard truck. I have them as an option to put in another truck. Is a motor swap legal? We'll go check out that video. Yes and no. So it just depends what you're doing. That Peterbilt is one that goes down to the plant, and it's got a lift in the back. I'll show you real quick. This got that lift. It will actually lift a trailer right up, a loaded trailer. And if you hadn't known this, but we did have a truck that burnt over a year ago. And what I basically have here yet that's good is that whole back end, the suspension, things like that. So we might use that at some point. And then way in the back is just the framework. That truck actually I want to get rid of. So if somebody's interested, I don't know if I'm going to just scrap it out or what, but it's basically a Sterling that we ripped the Detroit motor out of. It's single axle and 7-speed transmission. So that's what I'm working with. I have 2 Detroits and really 2 Cats. I don't really plan to get rid of that T800 or pull the motor out right away, but at some point I can, because a truck cost me very little. If I replace the truck, it's obviously going to cost me a lot more, but for what it is, the motor that it has, it's a great truck. This subject is a little hard for me to talk about. Just kidding. So if you've seen the intro to my last video where I go and I tape over my hoodie, the Peterbilt hoodie, I tape that over and I put Kenworth sticker on it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just want to clarify whether I like Kenworth or Peterbilt, even though it might look like I really like Kenworth better. Kenworth is my truck of choice. Obviously, if you haven't known this before, Kenworth and Peterbilt are made by PACCAR, the same parent company. It's not like John Deere and Case. It would be saying like Case and New Holland. They're both made by the same company, right? Peterbilt, Kenworth, I have both. I just got that Peterbilt dump truck. We have Kenworth, Peterbilts mixed in. We really did not actually get Peterbilts till about 2018 is when we first got the Peterbilts in. And of course, we ended up getting 10 of them at one shot. That's when we bought out another local trucking company. It was just simply because we always had Kenworths. We started out with Kenworths. They've been a great truck for us. And then when the Peterbilts, when we bought that fleet out, you know, it's like, hey, now Peterbilts are here. It's, you know, whether now I get a Peterbilt or a Kenworth, not really a big deal. There are some features that I like about Kenworth a little bit more. And there's also, well, I say more, they both have their pros and cons. I got used to a Kenworth W900, and I would, you know, if I had a choice to drive, you know, between a Peterbilt 389 and a Kenworth W900, I would pick the Kenworth personally all day long. That's not saying I hate the Peterbilt. They're both great trucks. There's really no other truck manufacturer that compares to the build quality of Kenworth and Peterbilt. Their build quality is excellent. I still have concerns. There's some things that they do that I don't like. Comparing them, say, to a Freightliner or to, you know, some of these other manufacturers, it's not there. Not only that, is probably one of the biggest things is resale value. One truck that has actually been catching my eye is Western Star. And I've been watching Western Star, especially the gliders. And what blows my mind is when you go to buy a Western Star, you pay basically the same price, brand new. But when you go to sell that thing, whether it's a glider, whether, you know, it doesn't matter what it is, it just does not have the value a Kenworth or a Peterbilt does. And so that's something you have to take into consideration, you know, when you're buying trucks. I don't really want to add a Western Star to the fleet anyway, just because it's all of a sudden brand new. We got to get our parts from somewhere different or whatever. I like to stick with Kenworth and Peterbilt. That's what I want to stick with, you know, moving on. I'm not going to throw everything else out the window, but that's one of the things I do take into consideration. Again, they're both good trucks. Personally, I would drive a Kenworth just because that's what I grew up with, and that's what I'm used to the most. They both have their pros and cons. For me to sit here and say one's way better than another, I'm not going to do that. You know, Kenworth, I hold like here, and Peterbilt, I hold like here. So about the same, like Kenworth, Peterbilt. There. Probably didn't make any sense to you. Hopefully that clarifies some things, guys. I got to get rolling, This is Saturday afternoon, and I'm going to go live here soon. If you guys hadn't seen any of the live, usually Saturday afternoon around 3 o'clock I go live. We just chat. So feel free to hop on at 3 Saturday afternoon. I'm excited for this next trip. It looks like a big trip, but it also looks like a lot of fun and a lot of good content, and I'll probably be splitting it up. So stay tuned, guys. And as always, thanks a lot for watching. Peace out.